Things are being thrown. There's no room for this in the sport. There's no room for the Davis brothers to be in the building tonight. The police escorted them out. You saw a stroller being moved.
Jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting. The
hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch.
Tensions rise backstage as Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach come face to face before their rematch. Lamont stays calm, ignoring Gervonta's trash talk. Outside the ring, he's focused solely on the fight, believing his actions will speak louder than any words. He's sure he'll leave victorious, trusting in the hard work he's put in for this defining moment.
The outside critics, I know what I could do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out and give it my all and perform, and most likely, 9 times out of 10 when I do that, I'll be victorious.
Lamont Roach has strongly rejected the idea that Gervonta Davis is the most powerful opponent he's faced. According to Roach, he's taken harder shots in previous bouts, and Davis's power doesn't scare him. His calm and steady demeanor shows his mindset is shaped by years of experience, proving he won't be shaken by hype or reputation alone.
I think the hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard ammo.
During their first fight, a brief lapse caused Davis to take a knee, sparking chaos and shifting how fans viewed him. Roach's effort in that moment elevated his status, making him look like the first man to truly challenge Davis. That moment created a new belief that Roach could win the rematch, especially now that he's being seen as a dangerous and real threat.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He got a little distracted, didn't he, in the fight?
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids and I had the same thing. I went through the same when I fought Andre. That burning my eyes, so I cut that off.
Recent footage shows Davis looking like a completely transformed fighter, more focused, sharper, and physically stronger. His new strength and a confident online presence suggest he's training with total commitment. Fans are getting excited, expecting Davis to return with serious power and deliver a dominant, no-nonsense performance once he steps into the ring. Roy Jones Jr. praised Davis's explosive fighting style and his ability to blend technique with raw power, though the outcome is unpredictable. Jones remains confident that Davis will be too much to handle. He believes Davis's ring presence alone gives him the edge, and expects Tank to once again assert control and show why he's still a force in boxing.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach because we kind of ever seen him a lot. So he gets to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first 2 rounds. Well, then when the pro rounds take over, we'll find out has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet, or is Tank too superior now as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in. You got a good back foot game like that, and you understand boxing like he understands it, he gonna make it rough for anybody. But, you know, Tank is a different animal too. So, it's a great fight, that's why everybody wanna see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win, oh, he gonna win.
Many believe Davis wasn't at his best in the first fight, possibly distracted or following a poor strategy. Now, with pride on the line, Davis is fully focused on proving his true abilities. His mindset and serious training show that this time, it's not just about payback, it's about reclaiming his dominance and silencing all remaining doubt.
So breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown, but ultimately it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means, and that means being more active in the early rounds, you know, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. You know, the left hands, the combinations, the body shots, That's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it to Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. You know, most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. You know, I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
Roach's ambitions in this rematch go beyond simply getting a win. He's chasing a knockout. His intense training shows a clear desire to make a bold statement. Defeating Davis in a decisive manner could elevate his career, putting him among the top names in boxing and securing a legacy built through hard work, skill, and fierce determination.
That you sent him to retirement earlier.
My initial plan is to win, but every time I fight, I'm trying to knock somebody out. So, so you know, if that happens in the midst of it, you know, that'd be a blessing. That'd be definitely something that I work for, because I work my ass off. But if he on his way out, well, why not kick his ass out? It does in a sense, but yeah, it do for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I like to prove people wrong, and I damn sure like to prove myself right. So it definitely gives me an incentive. And like I said before, I've been before. The Hackett fight, they had me duck. Right now, they really got me. They really got me.
Roach has confidently stated that his preparation is complete, and he possesses every tool needed for victory. His tone doesn't reflect arrogance, but assurance earned through effort. He believes he's ready to handle anything Gervonta Davis brings, prepared to adapt inside the ring and respond with calculated moves, sharp defense, and focused determination from start to finish.
Beat 30 people, knocked out, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. He probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much.
Greg Hackett pointed out that the stakes are sky high for both fighters. He says neither side has a clear advantage, and that perfect execution will be key for Davis. Hackett emphasized how important it is to stay locked and mentally there's absolutely no space for mistakes in a fight where one slip could cost everything.
It's rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, trading with this person, trading with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't that night. Lamont wasn't having it, and he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused because if he's not the most focused, then he gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night, and you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for, and he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Who you picking to win?
Mikey Garcia gave his take, praising Davis's ability to learn from experience. However, he warned that strategy alone isn't enough without mental sharpness. Garcia made it clear if Davis isn't fully focused, even the best game plan can fall apart. In his words, mental readiness is what truly separates champions from everyone else.
And hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, and maybe they get a third fight, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns the markets back out.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup and they say, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think
the edge.
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is, like, if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. And if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're...
But it seems like a lot of fighters
are
going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him fucking do it, let him do it. I don't know. Dude.
Kenny Ellis acknowledged Roach's work ethic, but warned against being misled by training footage. He believes the real test comes during the fight when fatigue sets in and punches start landing. According to Ellis, it's not about perfect drills, but how a fighter responds under pressure. That's where grit and heart truly matter most.
To be another great fucking matchup, and they say, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight, shit, he'll get a third fight.
Right. Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that?
In the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're...
But it seems like a lot of fighters are going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him fucking do it, let him do it. I don't know. Dude, I have personal stuff. A lot of fighters have issues. It's life, bro. This is our job, but their life keeps going. Life continues.
You have to juggle this with life.
You have to juggle. You have to balance. And it's tough, bro. It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. You gotta be dealing with family, with kids, with wives, with girlfriends.
What's crazy that I always see the same stories.
A second loss could deal a serious blow to Gervonta Davis's career and reputation. While a single defeat might be dismissed as an off night, back-to-back failures in a major rematch would likely spark lasting doubts about his place among boxing's best. Fans and experts may begin to question whether Davis truly belongs in the top tier. His image, pride, and future opportunities are all on the line for Davis. This rematch is about more than redemption, it's about preserving his legacy. He must deliver a decisive performance to silence critics and prove he's still one of the sport's elite.
Oh, is the rematch happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. Well, they put up a good fight, I'm not going to lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half, so what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though because you just see so much demolishment from one and then for it to flip to the other and it just had your mind like, what? It's really how your mind blown. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision of the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely went off of just a personal opinion of the person, a history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank, if I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. You know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that to flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit, all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him, as ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. Now I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this.
Ellis has hinted that Davis's camp is making secret changes ahead of the fight, signaling a completely new approach. The lack of details has added to the hype. Whatever adjustments they're making, the team believes it'll have major impact, turning this rematch into one of the most anticipated fights in recent boxing memory.
What do you see?
Both of them, like I said, they both at top of the game. I see a competitive fight, nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight. I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Rolly Romero stood up for Davis, saying even the greatest fighters have off nights. He believes one bad showing shouldn't overshadow Davis's full career. In Romero's view, Davis remains one of boxing's top names, a fighter who still deserves respect, regardless of that one performance that didn't go as planned.
That people want to discredit thing is he's still a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just off night, or
everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night and with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
you want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.